What's up guys, DJ Darkbeat here, bringing you another blaster review video. Today we're going to be talking about a blaster that I am super excited to have finally gotten. I found this one on Amazon and I'm really psyched about it. It is a hand cannon, but not only a hand cannon, it's a hammer prime, shell ejecting, cylinder loading hand cannon. It just got everything cool that I like about it all wrapped into one little nice package. So I'm hoping this one is pretty cool. I don't really know anything about it. All I know is I found it on Amazon. It looked awesome. So I took a shot with it and I'm excited about it. So today we're going to be talking about the SR410 Special hand cannon. I'm calling it a hand cannon because that's what it looks like. It looks like a freaking hand cannon. It's borderline shotgun without the stock. It's a hand cannon. So I am excited about this one. It takes shells and the cylinder pops open and it ejects the shells. It just looks really cool, and it wasn't that expensive either. So hopefully this thing doesn't suck, and it's definitely worth its weight in gold, but we shall see. All right, so let's get it out of the box, see what we get, and go from there. All right, stick with me, guys. Okay guys, so the SR410 Special Superior Shotgun. It's a pistol that looks like a shotgun. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Ages 8 and up. Double shell throwing. All right, let's see what it says on the box here. Cock and return. Softball size. I don't know what that means. Line. Okay, so there's going to be some assembly required. I guess this piece can come off and you have to assemble the stock. And then you load your shells into the cylinder, pop it closed, and you are ready to go. So that is pretty awesome. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so like the other shotgun I got, it comes with 20 sticky darts, 20 regular darts. Appears like 12 shells and 2 of the shotgun type shells. A belt clip to hold your shells. That's pretty cool. It comes with the hardware for the grip. Here's the grip. Wow, that's definitely a weighted grip, which is pretty awesome. This thing is quite heavy, so that's got a nice feel to it. Comes with a scope, and here is the blaster. Let's see what we get here. All right, and that is the blaster. So blaster feels a little light, but it feels very well constructed. I'm not going to lie there. And there you go. You hit that button, it ejects the cylinder. You put your shells in, close your cylinder, and you should be ready to go. So pretty cool there. And then you got a hammer prime. It sounds decent, but we shall see. All right, so let me put it together now, and we'll see what we got. Okay guys, there it is. So with the grip attached, and this is a nice size. All right, so let's get into this and see what we're talking about. Okay guys, so the SR410 shotgun hand cannon, more of a hand cannon, but yeah, it definitely can be if it had a stock, and I did see other ones that do have a little stock to it. This would definitely be a sort of little shotgun, which is kind of neat, and it's got that feel to it in the front for sure. So it does have that feel, but this is more like a hand cannon. Hammer prime, it feels okay. I'm assuming the plunger tube is over here, since we had to install the grip. A lot of times in the hammer shots, the plunger system can go into the grip, but that is not the case here. So this is the plunger tube here, I'm assuming, which doesn't give me too much hope in terms of looking at it, but we shall see on that. So it also did come with this little scope, and in checking out the scope, it's pretty cool that depending on, this is the way the scope would normally be put on a blaster or on a real steel firearm. This is how it's supposed to go, is in this direction. And if you have it in this direction, it actually gives you a smaller sight picture. It zooms out a little bit, or yeah, it definitely zooms out a little bit. But if you turn it around, you actually have a little zoom. So if you put it on this way, which is actually backwards to the way it's supposed to be, you can actually zoom in on your target a little bit. So I'm going to put it on backwards because I like having a little bit of zoom to it, which was kind of nice. So that goes on here like so. Screw that on, and there you go. You got a nice little scope on there, which is kind of cool. So it definitely looks cool. The cylinder release is on the left side, so for right-handed use only. It is not ambidextrous. Lefties, you are going to have to pop it open with your pointer or index finger, something like that. Righties, it's very simple. Just click it with your thumb and you are ready to go. So this is definitely set up for right-handed use more so than left, but you know, most blasters are nowadays, but they've been getting better and making them ambidextrous here and there. The shells are here. I have the same shells that came with the other shotgun I did a review on there. The shells are exactly the same, so I am just going to use the shells I currently have. I have these shells loaded up with, 4 of them are loaded up with the darts that it came with, and then I have one loaded up with a short dart, because you can load up short darts in these as well. The 50 caliber foam balls, the hyper rounds, they are too snug a fit in here, and a lot of the blasters that I've gotten like this don't have enough juice to fire them. So if you stuff 50 caliber hyper rounds in there, be prepared to get it out with a screwdriver, because the blaster is not going to have enough juice to fire it. All right, so here we go. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna lie there. That is not making me feel warm and fuzzy inside at all. Then you eject your shells. That's the cool part, is the shell ejection. Yeah, this thing doesn't have much pop at all. I'm guessing the air seal is really good. The air seal is good, but it doesn't look like there's much volume here for the plunger tube. That's going to be the issue, I think. So, yeah, the air seal is good. I'd have to pop it open just to see, but I'm assuming this little cutout, that's your plunger tube. That's all you got, is that little thing right there. So you're not going to get too much out of that, but we'll have to see. Let's take it to the chronograph and get some definitive numbers on it, but I am guessing, from what I just felt, 30 FPS, maybe. If we get into the 50 FPS, that's going to be high, I think. So we will have to see. But let's find out right now. Take it to the chronograph, get the numbers, and go from there. All right, stick with me, guys. All right, guys, so I have it loaded up now. 4 of the original darts that it came with, and the last one is going to be a short dart to see if there's any difference there. But let's see. Fingers crossed. Give me something. 42.6, 43.9, 46.9, 43.9, and the last one is a short dart. 41. So the short dart actually was worse. All right, I'm going to try one thing here. I have a short dart loaded up a little bit differently. One more regular shell with a regular dart, and one more short dart. So let me see now. Okay, so this short dart I just have positioned a little bit differently in the shell. And if I could get it, 45.5. All right, so 46.9. So if you don't push the short dart in the shell all the way, you get a little bit better velocity out of it, but it's getting close to the same as the... These are not exactly full-length darts to use. Regular darts, you have to cut them down a little bit to use it with these shells. So the darts that it came with, that's where we're at. So we are hitting high of 46.9, low of 41, average of 44.3. So nothing to write home about in terms of performance, but let's see what kind of distance, if anything, we can get at the range. All right, so let's take it outside now and go from there. Stick with me, guys. Okay, guys, so I did this so you wouldn't have to. I took it apart because I wanted to see if there was anything I could do to it to make it a little bit better. And as you can see here, the the plunger tube is just tiny. This plunger tube is incredibly small. So there's really not much we can do with it. It is getting a very good air seal. Even if you took the air restrictor a little bit, you know, cut that out to give it a little more airflow, it's really not going to help. So this spring is pretty stout too. This is actually a pretty stout spring. So I'm not sure if there's anything we can do. I mean, I could try and put a spacer in here or something but this spring is pretty strong. So any spacer in here is going to be, I'm afraid this thing might blow apart, even though it's pretty well constructed. But I just wanted to show you what was going on inside. And this is why we're only getting what we're getting out of it in the low FPS, because there's just not much to work with here. If this was a little bit longer, maybe we could work with it. It's a decent size in terms of the diameter, and again, I checked the O-ring, and it's a very nice, it's getting a very nice seal. So the air seal is pretty damn good, so that's not the issue. It's just the size of the plunger tube. So I'll play around with it a little bit, see if there's anything I can do. But really, really is not much to work with here. But I just wanted to show you guys that. All right, stick with me. Okay, guys. So I'm a little bit closer in, about 40 feet, 35 feet, 35 feet from right here. Since this thing isn't hitting that hard, let's just see how accurate it is from 35 feet. Again, I have this scope set that has a little zoom on it, which is kind of cool. Now the first 3 darts are going to be regular darts, and then I have the last 2 darts set to short darts. So let's see what we got. Yeah, definitely a little zoom on the target. And I'm going to keep this center target, see where it goes. Yeah, it's not even getting there. Wah, 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 wah. We really don't need to see any more at the range. Let's take it inside and talk about it. Okay, guys, so the SR410 shotgun, hand cannon, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't perform too well. Yeah, it sucks. It really doesn't. And from what I showed you, you know why. There's just really no plunger tube in here, and there's really no way to modify it in any way. So it's going to be a really tough mod in terms of trying to get this thing to fire into competitive kind of levels, or at least playable type levels, because this is something that you cannot play with as is for sure. It's fun to play around the house, absolutely. Now let's talk about what it's good for. Cosplay, man, this thing is awesome. What's the claim to fame? You know, shell ejecting, and that's just awesome. The fact that you can have a 5 shell rotating cylinder, it's technically not shell ejecting. I mean, you'd have to like that to eject the shells, but that I guess you can do. Now when you close this, it doesn't really, you have to make sure it gets into place here when it closes, so otherwise it won't close. You can't just kind of pop this into place. Most of the time it won't work. You have to kind of get it in place and make sure it's in the spot. So you can actually open this without hitting the button. So you hit the button, it'll open it, but you can actually just push it forward and it opens. So you can push it forward with your thumb real quick and it'll pop the cylinder open as well. So you have to be careful of that. And if you do hit it hard enough, it does seem to open up sometimes. But then other times it seems to lock into place pretty good. So I don't know. As far as practicality and functionality, you know, you saw what I saw and you saw the numbers. The FPS is extremely low. 35 feet was struggling to hit that mark. But man, look at this thing. It just looks freaking awesome. This was the most toned down paint job I could find. I'd still be a little skeptical taking this out in public unless it was in a cosplay situation, but to play with this blaster the way it looks, it's still a little iffy. You know, it's got the orange tip, which is good, but it's still a little iffy. They had other ones that were camouflage or wood looking that, yeah, you definitely couldn't bring them out in public because it could definitely be mistaken for a firearm. Other than that, it's really cool. I mean, I like the blaster. The air seal is phenomenal. So it's not the air seal that's the problem. It's the size of that plunger tube. The plunger tube is just extremely small, and that's why I wanted to open it up, take a look at it, and then I wanted you guys to see that, so you know. It's they've done everything they can do with the blaster. The blaster actually functions perfectly. The build quality on it is top notch. It's very well built. They give you plenty of darts with it, 20 darts. Plus they give you 2 of the shells with the little shotgun spread thing, which I haven't shown you. And it gives you this little, you know, belt clip. You put this on your belt and you got some extra shells, which is kind of cool. But let's take a quick shotgun shot, see how that works out. Yeah, same crap. Same. And one of them didn't even fire. So, yeah. Just like, yeah, it flings open pretty good. It just doesn't, if you don't have it on a little bit of angle, it's not going to eject the shells. But it's pretty cool how it functions. It definitely is definitely pretty cool. I definitely do like the blaster. This is definitely a cosplay kind of hand cannon thing. You can do a lot of different things with this in terms of that aesthetic. So it's really cool. When I took this front piece off, this is weighted and the grip is weighted. So that's what gives this thing some nice weight. The actual receiver, the unit itself, the blaster itself is very light and made of, you know, plastic. It's all plastic, but it's very light. So they have some weight in here and they have some weight in the handle, which gives this thing a nice little weight. But it's a cool blaster and it's fun to use. So would I buy it again? Yeah, I would, because it's just fun to play around with. I love shell ejecting stuff and playing around with shells. This is fun. Is there better stuff out there? Yeah, but I think this was $30. So for $30, you can't really get too much better. I did do a review a while back on a shotgun, actual pump action shotgun that I bought. That's pretty good. But again, the numbers are, they're iffy. This is just really, there's no room to work with it. It's got a small plunger tube, but everything else is perfect. Air seal's perfect. The O-ring, the thing was lubricated well. The parts are nice. Everything was done well. It's just, this is not meant to be a pro level blaster. It's just not meant to do that, but it's meant to have fun with. It's meant to look cool, and it's meant to give you a cool emotional response, which it does. Because man, it's really cool pointing this thing. Yeah, I really enjoy holding this. I enjoy the way it functions. I enjoy, you know, everything about it. So it's very cool. You can also pop the cylinder right out if you wanted to. And that's about it. So the SR410, is it a pro level blaster? No. Is it really fun to play with? Yeah, absolutely. So the choice is up to you on that if you want to purchase it or not. But mod potential is just really not there. There's just no room to work and there's not much to go on, but it is what it is. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.